Welcome everyone. My name is Carla Marquez and I am the Activities Coordinator for Asian Student Union and the host for tonight's event.
Hello everyone, my name is Gvsu and I am the President of Asian Student Union.
Hi everyone, my name is Anthony and I'm the Vice President of Asian Student Union. We would like to thank you for all joining in on our annual Asian New Year Festival.
Asian New Year Festival is a celebration of the Lunar New Year that showcases a variety of traditional and modern Asian performances. This event cultural awareness, festivities, and gathers a largely diverse group of people to come together and wish one another a fulfilling and prosperous year.
As a part of Asian New Year Festival, we are accepting donations towards the International Rescue Committee for their humanitarian efforts in Myanmar. This is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that responds to the world's worst humanitarian crises and helps people who lived and livelihoods are threatened by conflict and disaster to survive.
We chose this cause in lieu of the current emergency crisis that Myanmar is going through that has destabilized the country's government by the military. You can make a contribution throughout the night by Venmoing our treasurer, Kian Ludovico, at Kian-Ludovico, and writing the subject as Anyf IRC donation. That's KEANE-LUDOVICO.
Before we get the show rolling, we would like to address an immediate concern. In the past month, there have been an alarming number of anti-Asian hate crimes occurring throughout the country. These crimes have occurred in the form of verbal harassment, intimidation, and even physical violence against Asian Americans. Unfortunately, there are more cases that may never even reach the public. The anti-Asian sentiment has existed long before this year and even before the COVID-19 pandemic. As an organization that represents Asians and Asian Americans, we are filled with deep sorrow, grief, and sympathy for our brothers and sisters that are experiencing turmoil due to these crimes. We are not the only ones. There is always an underlying fear of racism for all people of color in this country. Our dream one day is that we may celebrate our culture and our diversity with racism behind us. Please stand alongside us as we celebrate today with our performers and our speakers. Thank you.
To begin tonight's event, we will be greeting the Lunar New Year as is tradition with a lion dance. Enjoy the show.
festivities, we have professional origami artist Stacie Tamaki, who has created her own origami fold specifically for Anyf. For this, you will want a square piece of paper to follow along.
Stacie Tamaki moved from California to Michigan in 2014 to participate in Art Prize. And since she pursued art as a full-time career, she creates mini origamis and owns Tamaki Studio, and has participated in Art Prize for several years.
Her philosophy for creating such tiny origami is that their size represents her belief that any gesture of kindness, no matter how small, is not without worth. She hopes her art will inspire viewers to stop and see the delicate beauty of the world that surrounds them, to recognize the gestures of kindness that others extend to them, and to realize that they can return the same small kindnesses to others.
In a world full of grand schemes, where bigger is often thought to be better, and many people are so busy seeking status, fame, and fortune, it makes it easy to overlook the small gestures of kindness others extend to us. Some are so small that they may seem insignificant, but she believes they should all add up to create something wonderful.
Grab a piece of paper and join us in this origami session by professional origami artist Stacie Tamaki.
Welcome to the Tinygami Studio. I'm Stacie Tamaki, and I am a full-time miniature origami artist who lives in Greenville, Michigan. So we'll begin by taking a square of paper and folding it in half, which everything about origami is based on precision, not speed. I always like to put that out there, that it just take your time and make sure all of your edges are aligned properly. Like, you don't want the paper to look like this when you fold it. You don't want that reverse side showing. You want to position it like this. Guide it all the way to the corners. And then when you're happy with it, where you pinch the paper into place, I use my fingernails to set creases. Now we're going to fold the bottom corners together to fold it in half one more time. Like this. And again, just make sure that you are taking your time. Now I've got the smaller triangle that has two flaps to it. I'm going to put my finger into one of these pockets and use my other thumb to begin squashing the paper into place. And the goal here is to keep everything aligned, like that. And I'm pinching the paper to hold it in place here at the bottom all the time. As I move a soft crease by pinching like that. Now when I'm happy with the location of my soft creases, I'll use my fingernails to set them as a hard crease. I'm going to take the paper and flip it over. I want to do the same fold on this side, but it's easier if I have a guideline crease that runs along this point. So the way I make that is by bringing this outer corner down here to the center, and bring this outer edge right up to, but not over, that middle guideline crease, which is also called a reference point in origami, because that's where we're referring the paper to. I'll unfold it, and now you can see I have this nice guideline crease there. I'm going to take this triangle and fold it like I'm turning the page of a book back onto that existing crease mark, like this. And as I do that, I can push down with my thumb and force the second squash fold to appear, like this. And the next fold we'll do 4 times. It's bringing this lower edge where the paper flaps open. Don't use this edge yet. Try to just keep this all the right direction. So the side where the pockets form, bring that edge up to the center line, like this. Kind of like the first fold if you make a paper airplane, I think, a traditional one. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, bringing that edge to the center so it matches the other one. And I'm just rotating the paper into the position that it feels the most comfortable for me to fold them. You can fold, as I do, in the air, or you can fold right on your tabletop. But I like to air fold because I can get it closer to the camera for you. I flip the paper over and do the same 2 folds, bringing these lower edges both to the center line. And these are folds done just to create more guideline creases. So after I've placed all 4 folds in, I'm going to unfold all of them. You don't necessarily have to put a hard crease in at this point. So I'll unfold all 4. And again, that's where the flaps open. Now I want to do those same 4 folds along the top half. So I'll bring these outer edges up to that center line. The same manner. Like this. And then like this. I'm going to flip the paper over, do it 2 more times. These are also just guideline creases. So once I have folded them, I'm going to unfold all of them. Okay. Now we're going to do a triangular squash fold. And the way we'll do it is, if you see where that center crease line is, I want to do that kind of page turning fold on this section also. And I'm just setting that crease to go back towards my left. Once I have my finger in this pocket here, if I put it in deep enough, I should be able to just push down and create this kind of Santa hat shaped fold. I'll flip it over, lift this section up. I just did a gentle back fold on it there to make it easier. When I go in here, I want to push that paper back on that fold. Keep my finger in the pocket, and again, just gently press down all the way from the top. You want that to be a nice clean point to that triangle, and then guide the paper downward. To do the other 2 sections, I'll just take this already folded part, fold it back once more, and that releases this other unfolded, unsquashed pocket. And then I'll do the same thing here. Just press it down, flip the model over, take this little already folded half and push it back. That releases the last section here. Put my finger in there and just gently press down. So now all 4 sides are done. And the next fold we will also do 4 times. Is you can see there's a guideline crease here, but there isn't one here. And so I want to put one finger inside to release the tension, the length of that fold, and just bring the paper in. Now here you can see how my red edge isn't covering all the white paper? And this is why I said you don't have to put a hard crease in yet earlier. You can actually guide that paper at this point and just reposition it. so that it comes closer to that edge, which is what I'm going to do here. You don't have to, but you'll have a nicer end result if you do. And now, where we didn't have a guideline crease, we can just guide that into place because there is the reference point of the center fold line right there in the middle. So that's where I'm guiding the paper to. So the fold on that half, the right half, looks like that. And then I want to just do the same thing on the left half. And just guide that section so it creates a nice plain point like that. You already have a guideline crease here, so it should just fall into place. If you need to reposition it, you can. So like that. And then I'll flip it over and I'll do the same thing here. I like to just open it up and press with both sides at the same time is another way, rather than doing it half and half. And the paper kind of knows where to go because of the crease marks below. So there is a second way to do it, of just aligning it and then letting all the paper fall in place below, aligning the top first. To do the other two sides, I just open it up like this and then hide the fold I just did. So now both sides show the two sections that still need to be done. And see how I'm going to do this again, of just using both fingers, left and right at the same time, to help guide it. And I'll still be careful. I'll still want to make sure that things are aligning well towards the bottom here. There we go. And then I'll flip it over and do this one more time. Down here. Like that. So these little flaps you just made should be pointing towards the side that's solid, and the side that's split will be free to move. Now the next step is to just take one section. You don't want to grab two, you just want one section and fold it over itself so that you have this, a solid piece of paper, and then find the last one on the back and fold it in the opposite direction like that, so that both the front and back are solid pieces of paper. And you should have like 4 sections on each side to know you have it divided equally. Now I'm going to rotate the model this way so that the side with all the openings is facing upward and the side where it's all connected is at the bottom. I'm going to let this top layer and the back rear layer just kind of open up. They'll want to on their own. My focus is this section that has 2 sections to it on the side. That's going to become a horn. And the way it does is I open it flat like that and then start very gently bending it so it's at a 90-degree angle to the rest of the model. In the center of the model, right here in the middle, everything is connected at that point. You can't bend it any lower than this point here. You can't bend it from, say, down there. When you find that center point, gently pinch the 2 sections together to invert the fold and bring them together all the way to the center. See how mine is like coming down, kind of like a rocket leg or something. My reference point is this lower edge and this widest point of the center of the model. I'm going to swivel this horn until the lower edge meets that widest point, like that. And when I have that, I'm going to pinch it to lock it in place. Then I'll flip the model over and I will do the same thing the second time. Flattening the section, bringing it down to where it's connected, inverting the fold and pinching it together, and then swiveling the horn to the widest point of the model and pinching it in place. Now to make the ears, so I'm going to bring this section and fold it to right across the tops of the horns. It's going to be the top of the head. And I know I'm doing it straight because this tip will align with that center guideline crease. So I know it's in the middle, which should make it straight. I'll gently press the crease in, and then I'm going to take the front one and just kind of fold it over there so that it's in alignment. I'll unfold the front one and flip the model back over. And now I'm going to lift it up, but it's still connected in the middle, so I can only lift it so far. But I don't want to bend it hard or I'll end up with a big crease mark here across the forehead. So I just gently lift it away from the head. And I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to put a hard crease in here with my fingernails, like that. And then the next thing I want to do is create what's called a valley fold, where I'm folding this back section of the paper up towards the front section. And I would say that the goal is to take this top edge right here and bring this top edge in an ear shape to where the center guideline crease is here, and take this outer edge and bring it to this point where the top corner of the head is. And I'll show you what I mean, because it's not an exact science how to do this, but I'm just creating a bit of a valley by pushing the paper down into itself. And then I'm aligning those two edges with those 2 points. It's kind of the trickiest part of this model, but that makes an ear. And then I'll flip it over and I'll do the same with the back. I'm going to take this flap, lift it up, and then fold it away from me over that guideline crease I made. Put a nice hard crease in there. And then here, I like to turn the model over so I can see where this center point is and where the other ear is. And then I'm going to just kind of tuck this in without putting a crease in, because I want to position it. I want to position it so that this edge meets that point and the other edge is approximately in the center of the model. And I'm just trying to make it so that this ear resembles the other ear, like that. Now to make the face, there's a reference point inside the model. I can't show it to you, but there's layers upon layers. And if you go like this and just start bending the paper a little, you'll feel where the thickness is, and that's your reference point. And that's the point where I want to fold the paper. Here, I flip it over to make sure this point is aligned with that center crease mark, and then I'll pinch the paper really hard. This is so many layers of paper that it's not really going to want to stay. After you finish a model like this, you'll want to like put it under a big heavy stack of books. So it looks like this. I'm going to go back to the back side and put in kind of what's called an accordion fold, where I'm just bending the paper back over itself, like that. And this is to create the muzzle of the cow, or ox, or bull. So it looks like this. And then I'll leave a little bit of this, fold this back again on the back side to create the muzzle. And I won't put a hard crease in until I flip it over and look at it from the side to make sure everything looks straight and aligned, like that. Okay. And then to curve the horns, I just use my fingers like this, and I just gently, I start near the head and work out towards the tips. I just pinch and curve the paper like this on both sides. And when you have the horns where you'd like them to be, then you have your ox head, like that. Happy Lunar New Year!
Wushu is a contemporary Chinese martial arts that blends elements of performance and martial application. It emphasizes quickness, explosive power, and natural relaxed movements. The Wushu practitioner must combine flexibility with strength, speed with flawless technique, fierce intent with effortless execution. Here in Grand Rapids, the Golden Tiger Kung Fu and Extended Learning Academy is the only place that teaches Wushu. The school is owned by Han Mei, who has over 12 years of martial experience and has won first place in the 10th Annual National Games. Please welcome the Wushu Warriors. Vietnamese Student Association, who will be performing a modern-style couples dance to the song 2 + 3 = 5 by Try featuring Cami. The dance is influenced by movements of urban dancing with a focus on sharp, precise, and flowing movements. The performance tells of a small story about two individuals falling in love at first sight, and the dance reflects their growth from strangers to significant others.
Nhẹ buông chặt anh gặp em giữa phố đông, nhìn em xinh thật xinh làm anh cứ hoài mong ngóng. chợt em cũng đã nhìn thấy ánh mắt anh, cũng chẳng biết là anh đã có người kể bên chưa.
Tại vì sao hai ta chẳng biết nhau,
Em cũng chẳng biết đâu,
nhưng trái tim vì em mà đứng hình thật lâu.
vì thì chắc là do duyên thôi đúng không?
Anh cũng chẳng biết đâu, nhưng người ơi phiền em cho anh hỏi người một câu là 2 cộng 3 bằng mấy?
2 cộng 3 bằng 5.
Vậy thì đưa bàn tay của em cho anh nắm này.
Em chẳng cần dùng phấn, em chẳng cần phải son môi,
Vì anh biết là sau hôm nay ta thành đôi rồi. 2 cộng 3 bằng mấy?
2 cộng 3 bằng 5.
Vậy thì đưa bàn tay của em cho anh nắm này.
Em chẳng cần dùng phấn, em chẳng cần phải son môi,
Vì anh biết là sau hôm nay ta thành đôi rồi.
Next up, we have Heather Truong, who is a hip-hop dance instructor at Movie or Dance Studio. She was a guest performer at KCON New York, winning top 6 in K-pop cover dance contest. She will be dancing as a representation of the Asian community in order to reveal the rising trends of Asian music internationally, and will be performing to Tomboy by Destiny Rogers.
I'm a girl's girl, I'm a boss in a man's world. Yeah, I can pick and roll past ballerina twirls, skating through the city with my snapback on. Still be looking pretty with no makeup on. Hey, mama, so marry a rich man. Oh no, and I was like, mama, I am that rich man. Oh yo 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 yeah. Oh mommy, oh my God, how this girl gets so fly. I do what you doing, but doing it like a tomboy. Oh mommy, oh my gosh, how this girl gets so fly. I do what you doing, but doing it like a tomboy. Solo riding, barely trying. They know to call me when they wanna get it poppin'. Sweet like some honey, but I always go hard. I don't like the drama, but I'll finish what you start. I'm making sure you get the memo, yeah. I'll meet you up on any level, yeah. Independent, don't need help. Underestimate me, you'll be playing yourself. Oh mommy, oh my God, how this girl gets so fly. I do what you doing, but doing it like a tomboy. Oh mommy, oh my gosh, how this girl gets so fly. I do what you doing, but doing it like a tomboy. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Like a tomboy.
All the way from across the country, this next group has been in KCON's 2019 Cover Star K Champions and opened for Mnet's KCON LA concert 2 nights in a row, as well as collaborated with idol group ATEEZ for a surprise performance at Venice Beach.
We are pleased to welcome SEOULA from the University of California, Los Angeles. SEOULA is the combination of Seoul in Korea and LA here in America. two cities that represent their community. SEOULA is a creative dance team comprised of students with a special passion for dance and Korean American pop culture. By connecting with global and diverse audiences through creative outlets like YouTube, they hope to bring together both Korean and American culture through K-pop and hip-hop dance.
As many of their members are separated due to the pandemic, they have continued to safely put out content and will be performing a quarantine-style cover of Dreamcatcher's Odd Eye.
눈을 떠 모두가 바람 찬란한 이곳 셀 수 없이 슬픔을 흘린 후 조금씩 보이는 new world 경계선을 넘어선 그 공간 더 아름다운 풍경을 in my eyes 긴 방황 끝에 찾은 듯했지만 또 마주쳐버린 희망 속의 light 더 교묘해져 마음이 mistake oh 빛으로 가려지는 so sorrow 미소에 속아 방심하는 그 순간 숨은 비밀을 봐 oh die 더 깊이 빠져들어봐봐 다가올 듯한 거칠한 달콤함에 가려져 경계를 모든 눈과 끝까지 맞서려는 절망 끝이 있지 않을까 Back and forth 여긴 찾던 곳이 아닌 걸 No more utopia 저 급히 변하길 바랬던 나 이상적인 것 조금씩 사라져가는 걸 멈 나를 따라만 오는 줄 알았던 그림자를 따라가는 듯이 바꾸지 못하는 운명 속에 희망은 더 사라져가 근데 눈을 가려 oh die 더 깊이 빠져들어 so dark 다가올 듯한 거짓말 달콤함에 가르쳐 경계 속 거부한 나와 끝까지 나서려는 절망 끝이 없을 것 같아 벌써 여긴 찾던 곳이 아닌 걸 No more utopia
Live it up 무의미해 벨버둥 진해 같은 곳에 머문 듯해 다시 끝없는 갈증을 낳는 채 신기를 쫓아도 거기엔 없는
Next, we have a performance that will be showcasing a modern twist on the 90s Filipino dance trends and the traditional dance of tinikling. So what exactly is tinikling? Tinikling is a traditional Filipino folk dance of the Philippines. It involves people tapping and clapping large bamboo poles together while dancers dodge and swiftly step between the bamboo poles to avoid getting their ankles crushed.
Sounds like it could be pretty painful.
Yeah, you're right. Making one wrong step or missing a beat can mean getting your ankle smashed.
Well, sounds like it'll be an interesting act. This group will be performing They Don't Really Care About Us by Michael Jackson as well as Come Baby Come by K7. Please welcome Michigan State University's very own Filipino American Student Society.
And you gotta give me some. You gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some. Come baby, come, come. Come baby, come, come. Well, you gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some. You gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some.
Skinhead, deadhead, everybody gone bad. Situation Since we're on the topic of Filipino dance, what's better to show what a culture is all about than their food? Next up, we have a special cooking tutorial by two of our own executive board members to bring a little flavor to your plate. They'll be showing us how to put together a tasty Filipino dish that you can put together yourself as your go-to college meal. So please enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Anthony and I'm the Vice President of the Asian Student Union.
And my name is Kyla. I'm the Activities Coordinator of Asian Student Union. Today we'll be making a traditional Filipino dish called chicken adobo.
To start out, we'll be needing 1 to 1.5 pounds of chicken drumsticks.
Then we'll start the marinade with a 1/3 cup of soy sauce.
And then we'll be needing 1/4 cup of vinegar. And then once you're done pouring both the vinegar and the soy sauce into the chicken, we'll be needing some brown sugar
2 tablespoons.
and some black peppercorns.
Alright.
About a pinch. Then after that, you'll be needing 5 cloves of garlic. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the rest you can save for later.
Alright. So now we just need to mince our garlic. Anthony, do you want to do the honors? Or I can do it.
You can do it. I bumped my finger this morning.
Okay.
Cutting onions. But I'll put the last piece of garlic.
Perfect.
Look at the nice minced garlic there. How fine it is and how chopped up it is. That's exactly how you want your garlic. So it releases all the flavor into the chicken.
Alright. I think this is ready to go in the bowl.
Oh, it's ready? Alright.
Alright.
So all your ingredients in one bowl. You take your garlic. Scrape it in there. And then you grab whatever mixing utensil that you like. I prefer chopsticks. And you start mixing the chicken around so the chicken is thoroughly covered with the liquid that you have poured in there. And once you're done mixing it, find yourself some saran wrap. Cover your chicken. Let it marinate in the fridge for 8 to 24 hours. And look at that! It's been 24 hours and our chicken is now marinated. And as you can see with the chicken, the soy sauce has now seeped into the chicken and has slowly changed colors. Now you know the flavor is in and locked in with the chicken.
We'll sear it in a skillet on medium-low heat with 3 tablespoons of oil.
And as you can hear the nice popping sound of searing, you know the pan is now hot enough. And as you wait for the chicken to cook, just kind of sit here and wait.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes, and always check the bottom side of the chicken that's on the pan. And if you have a nice golden brown on it with a little bit of coloring on it, that's when you know you've seared it. And now once the other side, one side is seared, you can go ahead and take the rest of the marinade and pour it into the pan. Once that is there, you would grab your
A cup of water. And then we'll add a few bay leaves for flavor. And then we'll let that cook with the lid on for about 20 minutes. Take the lid off and just let it cook for 5 minutes, split the sauce through. All that's left to do is plate it with some rice.
And that's how you make chicken adobo.
Wait, Filipino chicken adobo.
And that's how you make Filipino chicken adobo.
We hope you enjoy and let us know how it turns out for you guys.
Don't be afraid to share your pictures and tag us at asu.gvsu on Instagram.
And check out our Facebook, Grand Valley State Asian Student Union. Alright, enjoy the rest of the show.
Up next, we'll be showcasing a variety of traditional Asian cultural clothing to show the diversity of Asian culture. First, we have the Vietnamese Ao, which is something that I'm wearing. I'm wearing the modern version. But now we have her coming up to show us the traditional version of Ao. Now we will have Anthony come up to show us the male version of the Ao. These Ao are traditionally worn throughout Vietnam during the Lunar New Year. The Balintawak is a Filipino traditional style of clothing, and its informal attire can be worn during times of leisure. So give it up for Kelsey. Now we have the barong, which is the Filipino style of clothing worn for formal or special occasions. Give it up for Kian. Now we have another Filipino dress, and its style is Maria Clara. Give it up for Kyla. Next we have the hanbok, which is a traditional Korean style of clothing. Hanbok literally means Korean clothing. It's worn during formal occasions. Give it for Insu. Now we have the salwar kameez, a traditional Indian style clothing worn daily and informally. Give it up for Kerr and Kelsey. Finally, we have the Lazwam outfit, which is specific to Burmese culture. This specific outfit and pattern belongs to the Zahao tribe. Each tribe has its own pattern and can be worn during special occasions. Give it up for Kyla. This concludes the fashion show. I hope you learned something new about each outfit. Thank you.
Speaking of fashion, here in Grand Rapids, we have an award-winning Asian American Filipino designer named R.C. Kalin. Because his mom and grandmother were seamstresses back in the Philippines, he started having interest in fashion when he was only 9 years old.
Since RC started his brand about 5 years ago, he's designed for over 100 celebrities, including Carrie Underwood, Nikki from 88 Rising, and hip-hop rap artist Saweetie, as well as award ceremonies like the Emmys and Fashion Week.
Not only does R.C. Kalin design the extravagant and stunning ball gowns, but also makes ready-to-go wear clothing like jackets, suits for both men and women. He customizes designs, wedding dresses, and everything can be customizable to your liking. All you need to do is sign up for an appointment or a consultation with him.
They are located in Breton Village Mall, and walk-ins are always welcome. There's always special deals going on as well.
Wow, I'll definitely be checking that place out for my next big event. As we continue the show, our next performer has been dancing since she was 3 years old, is part of the dance group Floatum at U of M, and is the co-choreography chair for Kappa Phi Lambda. Please enjoy Alison Lee's quarantine-style production of Fever by G-Friend.
지금 이 순간 후회 없이 보여주고 싶어 그저 네 심장에 뛰게 하고 싶어 눈부신 달빛 아래 열대야 같은 사랑을 하고 있어 너와 나 불이 켜지는 순간이야 아직 아련한 메아리야 꿈을 꾸는 듯한 아리야 나나나나 어쩔 줄 모르던 나야 불확실한 것에 겁이 나기 나 이제 너를 거야 코끝이 찡하니 들 때는 이 밤 소리 없이 피어난 멋진 계절 같은 oh yeah 높아져가는 낮과 밤의 온도 너무나 뜨거워 터질 것만 같아 지금 이 순간 후회 없이 보여주고 싶어 그저 네 심장에 뛰게 하고 싶어 눈부신 달빛 아래 열대야 같은 사랑을 하고 있어 너와 나 아직도 깊어져만 가는 열대야 여전히 사라지지 않는 열대야 차가운
up is UCLA Taara. UCLA Taara is an award-winning competitive South Asian classical dance team. They combine various classical dance styles to create innovative routines that preserve the traditional beauty of classical dance and provide an explorative venue for modern-day storytelling. Founded in fall of 2013, Taara is comprised of a small group of driven UCLA students who are committed to the preservation of the classical arts and its relevance in future generations. Their song selection showcases their team and the use of classical dance in a more modern context.
The sun and the sand and the sea and the night, and we're feeling alright. Yeah, we're feeling alright. क्यों लम्हे खराब करे, आ गलती बेहिसाब करे, दो पल की जो नींद उड़ी, आ पूरे सारे ख्वाब करे, क्या करने हैं उम्रों के वादे, ये जो रहते हैं रहने दे आधे, दो बार नहीं एक बार सही, एक रात की कर ले तू यारी, सुबह तक मान के मेरी बात, तू ऐसे जोर से नाची आज, के घुंघरू टूट गए, के घुंघरू टूट गए।
छोड़ के सारा शर्म और लाज, मैं ऐसे जोर से नाची आज, के घुंघरू टूट गए, के घुंघरू टूट गए।
क्यों लम्हे खराब करे, आ गलती बेहिसाब करे, दो पल की जो नींद उड़ी, आ पूरे सारे ख्वाब करे, क्या करने हैं उम्रों के वादे, ये जो रहते हैं रहने दे आधे, दो बार नहीं एक बार सही, एक रात की कर ले तू यारी, सुबह तक मान के मेरी बात, तू ऐसे जोर से नाची आज, के घुंघरू टूट गए।
छोड़ के सारा शर्म और लाज, मैं ऐसे जोर से नाची आज, के घुंघरू टूट गए, के घुंघरू टूट गए।
दिल लेना दिल देना जरूरी नहीं है, इन बातों के सिवा भी बातें कही है,
कहीं से ज्यादा की ख्वाहिश नहीं है, चाहे दोबारा ना मिलना कहीं।
मेरे सपने नहीं सीधे सादे, है गलत फहमियां तो मिटा दे,
दो बार नहीं एक बार सही, एक रात की कर ले तू यारी,
सुबह तक मान के मेरी बात, तू ऐसे जोर से नाची आज, के घुंघरू टूट गए, के घुंघरू टूट गए।
छोड़ के सारा शर्म और लाज, मैं ऐसे जोर से नाची आज, के घुंघरू टूट गए, के घुंघरू टूट गए।
Next up, we have our very own GVSU Vietnamese Cultural Association. VCA strives to create a family-like environment to anyone who's looking to expand their knowledge on the Vietnamese culture. VCA also aims to give back to the Vietnamese community while also promoting Vietnamese language and traditions. They'll be performing a fan dance to Ali Hong Yung song called Theo An. Please welcome GVSU's VCA.
Có phải em là thiên thần đến bên anh thật ân cần, hãy cho anh gần em thêm một chút. Lắng nghe tim của anh này, nắm đôi tay của anh này, hãy theo anh đi khắp thế gian. Đón bình minh mùa xuân tại nơi gọi là Japan, ngắm hoàng hôn mùa đông tại nơi gọi là London, đắm chìm trong tình yêu tại nơi gọi là Paris. Đi cùng anh đừng rời xa anh, người yêu ơi. Hãy cho anh bên em, anh sẽ chở che trong vòng tay của anh. Người yêu ơi, hãy cho anh yêu em, anh sẽ thủy chung với tình yêu ngát xanh. You are my angel, my angel. You are my
CTRL+A is an Asian interest dance organization from MSU founded in 2018. Each performance is choreographed by their own members, and they strive to incorporate any genre of dance as well as elements of Asian culture. In this dance, they'll be performing to Send the Moon by Sing and Term by Bruno Mars. Please welcome CTRL+A.
Now look at you walking in here looking all pretty and angry and mean and good. I know you didn't get your hair done so you could just sit down and just sit still.
Hey, we trying to have a good time tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. It's my birthday. No, it's not. But I still look good, though. How come? Ow. I bet you want an autograph. You and your friends. Gotta do it in the penthouse. That's why I came up in. What you can't dance? Ain't got rhythm. What you got a man? I don't see you with him. Put your phone down. Let's get it. Forget your Instagram and your Twitter. Got me like, whoa. Wait a minute. You need to take a minute. Loosen them shoulders up.
guys, it's Kelsey, Marquez,
and Kerwin.
We're over here because we are the co-event coordinators for ASU. We have an announcement for an upcoming keynote event.
We will be having our annual RISE conference event where our theme will be Unity and Diversity. This will take place on March 12th at 5 p.m. virtually on Zoom.
Stay tuned and hope to see you then.
I would like to thank you all for coming and watching tonight. We know things have been hard with COVID and everything that has been going on in the community, but we'd like to thank all of the performers and the viewers for making this such a great event. We wish you a happy new year with this Lion Dance finale.